Okay, so welcome to kindergarten at Guilford Lakes to all of our parents and our students that are out there. We really would love to be doing this in person, but believe it or not, we've gotten pretty good at the distance learning. I haven't been getting great at large meetings, so I do apologize about that. If you don't mind, one of the things we have gotten used to is if you can all mute yourselves to begin, that would be great. And then if you want to speak, you can unmute at that point. But we're going to go through the presentation to start, and then we will have time for questions at the end. Then we're going to have the PTO share some information, and we'll have another opportunity for questions. So we are going to begin. As I said, we'd love to be doing this virtual or in person, but it is our virtual kindergarten orientation. And, we're hoping to see people in the fall to introduce ourselves in person. So go ahead, Denise, if you want to start with the next one. So there's a lot of familiar faces here in our Zoom meeting. Some that aren't on the screen, but we're going to introduce them to you as well. I am the proud principal of Guilford Lakes Elementary School, and I have to say it is a remarkably special place to be. This is, I just finished my third year here at Guilford Lakes after being an administrator in Old Saybrook for 9 years. And each day that I am at Guilford Lakes, I just think to myself how lucky I am. It has a remarkable group of people who are there to just care for and love your kids every day, and it is a special place. So I'm not only proud, but I am excited to be the principal because I love going to work every day and seeing our children and our staff. The next person that we're going to introduce is our nursing staff. Do you want to go ahead, Maggie and Taylor, and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Taylor Erickson. I'm one of the nurses at Guilford Lakes. Welcome. If you have any questions for the nursing staff, we can be reached by email, or there may be the Guilford Public Schools Department.
Maggie, are you there?
Sorry, I'm Maggie Paulson. I'm one of the nurses at Guilford Lakes, and I welcome you all.
Okay, and Maggie has been with us for many years, and we cherish her. We are, with bittersweet sentiments, she is retiring this year, but she's true to her professionalism. She's here to answer any questions, and we're in the process of hiring a new nurse that will join Taylor in her work at Guilford Lakes. Gail, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Gail Capizone, the Mandy's secretary, the office secretary, the building secretary, and anything you need, you can come to me and I will help you as best I can.
Karen Anderson is not here with us, but she is a part-time secretary in the office, and she subs part-time as well. Liz Mancini is here. She's our social worker. Liz, you want to introduce yourself and share a little about what your role is at Guilford Lakes?
Sure. My name is Liz Mancini. I'm a social worker. I've been there a long time, over 30 years. And as a social worker, I have an auxiliary role in terms of supporting children and the staff. Anything that comes up in terms of how they're getting along with their peers, if there's anything going on at home that we might need some support around so that school continues to be productive and feel good for the kids. I consult on the teams. I'm part of evaluations if we do that for children. A whole, variety of things I'm involved. I'm there all day. I get to know all the children. It's wonderful. Looking forward to meeting all your kids.
We also have Cheryl Shilowski representing our school psychologist here. She's not on our list, but Cheryl, do you want to talk a little bit about your role as school psychologist, or Jeff's role, K4, as school psychologist?
Sure. Currently, I'm the school psychologist primarily with the pre-K and more intensive needs students. But we also have a school psychologist, Jeff Timms, who I work really closely with, who helps to support K through 4. We all work together as a really nice cohesive team, and our focus is helping all students kind of achieve their best wherever they're at and to be able to implement any supports for them, whether it's for students that are super high achieving and helping teachers, really challenge kids, or for students that might be having more difficulty, whether it's from separation early on or playground or anything like that. We help kind of funnel kids to get the supports they need so that they can have a successful experience.
Great. I'm saving the classroom teachers till last because they're going to introduce their kindergarten paras. So the next, we have a couple of our specials area teachers with us. So Sarah Ryan, who is no relation to me. Do you want to introduce yourself and share a little bit about your program?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Ryan, and I'm the music teacher at Guilford Lakes. Students K through 4 receive music instruction 2 times a week for 30 minutes. And really in kindergarten, we're solidifying and learning about the foundations of music and working a lot with our musical comparatives. So stuff like fast versus slow, high versus low, loud and soft, and working on steady beat and rhythm. So I'm basically preparing students to be musicians for the rest of their lives, which is such a fun job. And music's a really awesome thing at Guilford Lakes. We have a lot of fun singing, dancing, moving, listening, and all the above. It's a great time.
Great. And next is Joyce Galehouse, our art teacher. Joyce, you want to share a little bit about art?
Sure. Hi, I'm Joyce Galehouse, and I teach art at both Guilford Lakes and A.W. Cox. And the students get 30 minutes of art once a week. And I teach them about famous artists. They'll learn vocabulary words related to art. They'll learn the elements and principles of art. And sometimes I also jumpstart lessons using children's literature. And I just try to expose students to a lot of different materials. So we have a lot of fun. So I look forward to meeting everyone.
Great. And then we also have a reading teacher who is not with us in the meeting, but we also have support people in our building in our in the area of special education. So we do have 2 people representing our special education department here. And they can just talk a little bit about special education as a whole. So we have Emily D'Addario and Greg Shalowski. Greg and Emily, do you want to talk a little bit about the special education program at Guilford Lakes?
Yeah, so I'm Emily D'Addario. Nice to meet you all. Hopefully we'll be able to see each other in person soon. I am currently one of the special education teachers in our K4 ABA program, which is our Applied Behavior Analysis program. Our program serves students with more intensive needs who need more individualized supports throughout the school day. We create plans for our students. We really strive to have our students be part of the classroom in the regular education setting. Greg, am I forgetting anything? Do you want to add anything?
No, I'll introduce myself. My name is Greg Shalowski. I'm a special education teacher. I've been working primarily with 2nd through 4th grade, but next year I'll be working with kindergarten. I'm really excited. I specialize in multisensory reading instruction. So giving kids the foundational skills they need to learn to be avid and passionate readers. So I'm really looking forward to working with the kindergarten classes next year.
So in Guilford, I should say, we are fortunate enough that every single classroom, kindergarten class, has a literacy para that works with the teachers from 9 o'clock till noon every day. So your teachers, the classroom teachers who I'm going to introduce, are the people who will be spending the majority of time with your children. They are perhaps the most nurturing and loving group of people I've ever met. And I can say that without question, your children will be happy. They will be motivated, they'll learn, and again, most important, they will be loved throughout the day. So I will start with Amy Courtwright, who's one of our kindergarten teachers. She can introduce herself and her literacy para.
Hi there, I'm Amy Courtwright. This will be my 3rd year in Guilford at Guilford Lakes. I can't wait to meet you all. My para is Sarah Nemec. She is our version of Mary Poppins. We love working together. It's a wonderful place to be. Your children will be happy. I will say I am a mom of 3, so chances are I've heard it, seen it, and it won't come as a surprise to me. And Sarah, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi.
Hi.
And this is Sarah Nemec.
Yep, and this will be my 3rd year with Guilford as well. I had various experience in Madison, Glastonbury, and in North Carolina. And I have had a blast working with Amy. You guys will really love the kindergarten team. They are amazing.
So the next kindergarten teacher that we have is Denise Gravina, who is sharing her screen.
I'm here. I am sharing my screen. You can still see me though, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I have been at Lakes. I was trying to figure this out. I think it's my 23rd year at Lakes, and I've taught every grade level except 1st grade. And actually, I had the privilege of working in kindergarten 15 years ago with Cheryl Signor, back when it was a half day. And it's been great to come back to it. This is our 5th year, I think, together. Cheryl and I figured out. And we're full day, clearly. I have Christine Kagan, who is our literacy para, who is also an educator, former educator herself. And we complement one another. She has a special education background that helps to support me and our students. And I'm looking forward to starting school in the fall and meeting all of your children.
And next is Mary Anasilla.
Hi, I'm Mary, and this will be my 16th year at Lakes, my 3rd year in kindergarten. Kind of like Amy, I am a mom of 2 boys, both of whom, one is about to leave Guilford Lakes and the other one has left already. So I'm enjoying the time with them here, but also cannot wait to get back to the classroom and meet all of your children in the fall. Kim Guile is my para. She is wonderful. She is loving and caring and enthusiastic with the children. And I'd like to introduce Kim now.
Hi, I'm Kim, and I have been at Lakes. This will be my 7th year, and I have 3 boys myself, one who has special needs, so I have a special place in my heart for the kiddos who need the extra support, and I love my job.
And next is Cheryl. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Before we move on, having the responsibility of sharing my screen and doing all this, I neglected to introduce my para, Christine Kagan. Christine, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here. Hi.
I'm sorry.
No worries. Christine Kagan, nice to see everyone and looking forward to working with your children in the fall. Thank you.
Okay, and next is Cheryl Signor.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cheryl. This is going to be my 20th year at Guilford Lakes. I'm saying that. My 5th year in kindergarten with Mrs. Gravina. And prior to that, I taught 2nd grade for 14 years after being in the part-time kindergarten when I first came to Lakes. Prior to that, I ran a childcare center, so I have lots of experience with babies all the way up to kindergarten, 2nd grade. I work closely with my para, Gretchen Stegna. She's my sidekick. So are you here, Gretchen?
I'm here. Sorry about my dogs.
Okay, so
do you want me to say anything? I can say something. Oh, okay. I'm Gretchen Stegna, and I just have to say that I've been working with this team of teachers. This is my 7th year. I absolutely love working in kindergarten. I will take care of your children, just so you know. And I'm just going to have to say, these kindergarten teachers are awesome. They are so good to work with. Your kids will be loved. They will be cherished. They will have so much fun. And Mrs. Stegna will make it fun. I can't wait to meet everybody.
Okay, Denise, you want to go to the next slide?
So I will speak a little bit about a typical day in kindergarten. I know it looks like a lot of things. It is, but we do get a lot accomplished. We begin our day with a morning meeting where everyone meets and greets each other. We have what's called a number corner where there's different skills in our math program that are also introduced in fun ways during our morning meeting. We sometimes will have sharing where we try to encourage accountable conversation. We try to work with kids to get them to listen to one another and take turns as they're speaking. Very important skills to learn for life. We talk about the calendar every day, the weather, days in school, things like that. Then we move into writing and reading, which is based on a workshop model. And we do a little mini lesson based on a specific writing skill or reading strategy. And once those mini lessons are complete, the students will work in small groups or individually with a teacher to practice those skills.
After the morning, lunch and recess is in the middle of the day at noontime, and our specials take place in the afternoon. Typically, PE 2 times a week, music 2 times a week, library once at this point, computer literacy is once, and art 1 time a week. Math details will be covered at back to school night in terms of concepts, but typically we use a daily hands-on approach with math and science. The science and social studies units are pretty much embedded into our literacy units, as well as any current events that we cover during digital literacy. And we do read aloud typically at some point in the afternoon, and then a dismissal. We usually have some sort of a closing meeting where we get together. We make sure kids are know exactly where they're going at the end of the day. This is something that we'll touch more on once we get back to school, but dismissal is a really important part of the day. Oh, wait, did I just? Wait, hang on a second. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, Amy, you're on.
So Mrs. Ignor touched upon our workshop model a little bit, but in kindergarten, we use for reading and writing a workshop model, and that begins usually with around a 20-minute mini lesson, and that is a whole group lesson. After the mini lesson, we break off and they work with peers or there's individual practice, and we like to come back together after to reflect on our work. Bridges Math is a resource that we use. It includes hands-on lessons and workplaces, which our students find very fun. They break off into groups or individual games that reflect on the lesson that we did as a whole group. Science and social studies, as we mentioned, it's hands-on, inquiry-based. We're asking questions, we're exploring. Our current students right now are participating in engineer design unit, which is very fun and they love. We're seeing lots of great things from them. And our science investigations are typically run by parent volunteers. There'll be more about that, I think, at the back to school night slideshow. We will also be sending out next week a frequently asked question document with a lot of resources for you to visit regarding the curriculum.
So within our day, we are constantly differentiating. Differentiation just means tailoring the instruction to meet the individual needs of each child. We use ongoing assessments, observations, our conferring time with your child to decide what is the best approach for each child. And we use the workshop model either to help tailor those needs, or the small group interventions with either the teacher, the classroom para, or even the reading specialist, depending on what is needed.
Many parents ask, do they give homework in kindergarten? Yes and no. Our homework basically consists of you reading with your child daily, and eventually that turns into your child reading to you once they learn all the reading strategies and skills. So we ask that you read a little bit every day at home. We also have a sharing weekly topic, and which encourage conversation skills. And we just ask that you and your child prepare for that share each week, and that is their homework.
So this slide is about communication, and clearly this is an important part for us to keep us connected as families and educators. There's a green homework folder that will go home at the beginning of the school year with that we will use to send hard copy notices, and you will use it, really importantly, to send any changes in dismissal, anything important that as a teacher we need to get, even in addition to an email, which you will probably obviously use more often than the green homework folder, but it's really important, especially if dismissal arrangements are different from what the child is used to send in some sort of a physical note. We send out either monthly or bi-monthly newsletters, typically electronically. To start, might do hard copies, but eventually it will go specifically to newsletters, electronically, sorry. Email back and forth clearly, and then we have conferences in November and in April, but clearly as needed throughout the school year. We're available before school, we're available after school, so as things come up, we do meet with families. And progress reports come out at the end of January and then at June. And the district website also offers a lot of information in terms of communication.
So like every school in the nation, we are very, very dedicated to the safety of our students. And as such, we have some protocols when entering the building that sometimes as a parent, it can seem a little frustrating, but our front office staff is amazing at making sure that all of those protocols are followed. So the first thing is when you come to the school, you do have to buzz in, and the secretaries will see a video. They are asked to ask always who is asking for entrance into the building and the purpose of their visit. And then you'll be buzzed into the first part of the vestibule, and then there's a second part that you'll be buzzed into as well, and it's a double entry, so we can make sure that everybody entering the building is entering with good intentions. We also have monthly evacuation drills or fire drills. In the beginning, you will be made known that the fire drill occurred, and oftentimes I will share the amount of time it took the children to exit the building, as well as to account for all of the children. We also do lockdown drills, which are when we ask our children to shelter in place because we are concerned that there might be some sort of breach of safety within the building. Those are done periodically through the day. You will be made known of those. In the past, we didn't let students know when those drills were coming. We have since changed that protocol, and children are informed that a drill will be coming, specifically a lockdown drill, so that they know it's a drill. We also practice reverse evacuation drills, and that's if we have left the building and we have to come inside because there's a security breach outside. So we have protocols for coming back into the building as well. And again, all of those drills are meant just to prepare our children to listen to the adults. In any one of those situations, things can change very quickly. I think in the past, we were all used to doing one particular thing, and what we've taught our children and what we will continue to teach our children, as well as, share with our staff, is that in the event of an emergency, the most important thing for your children to do is to listen to the adult who will read the situation and know what to do and will be continually informed. We also have drop-ins pretty regularly from Guilford police officers who just will walk the hallways so that kids can see them, so that they know that the police officers aren't anybody to be afraid of. And we're really lucky because we often have one of our canine officer visit the school with her dog Kobe, and the kids like to see the dog as well. The final thing is we do have pretty strict dismissal procedures. Again, those are all for the safety of your children. We ask that you notify the teachers if you are going to be picking your student up, and the student gets put on a parent pickup list. There are two teachers who are on duty in the parent pickup, and you do have to sign your child out. If it's somebody different that will be picking up your child, you do have to let the office know so that we can make sure the right person is picking your child up. You do not come into the building for parent pickup. That remains something that you stay outside for, and we release the students from our music room. And again, that's to make sure that our buildings are always secure. Every door, even though every classroom has an exterior door, every door in the building is locked at all times. So that's why we don't allow dismissal coming into the building. We have the one door that's open, supervised by a teacher. And again, that's just to make sure that your children are safe at all times. So sometimes people get a little bit frustrated, the dismissal line's long, or why do I have to call in? But it all is in the name of safety. The other thing is, if you are going to pick up your child and you haven't let the teacher know, we do ask that you let us know before 3:20, and that if you are going to pick up your child early, that you don't pick them up after 3:20. And that is because the office is very, very busy from 3:20 on, and for the secretaries to be fielding phone calls and making sure they're changing the dismissal procedure as well as to be manning the doors becomes very hectic, and we want to make sure that they're really focused on keeping that building safe at all times.
So we, in terms of social skills, I mean, that's embedded throughout the day for all the children, but especially for kindergarten, we're always greeting the children in the morning when they come in. Those first couple of days, the first week or so, we are meeting with them and escorting them into their rooms, making sure they feel secure and know where to go. And at the end of the day as well, making sure they're all where they need to be, and interfacing if there's any confusion or worries or tears, we're there to take care of that. We have lunch we have recess before lunch. The kindergartners also have an earlier, shorter recess mid-morning. But those are also times for less structured social interaction. And we're not sure what that's going to look like when we go back, but you'll be getting more information as those decisions are made closer to the fall. We're always doing a lot of problem solving with children together. It's a constant part of what we do. I'm lucky enough to be able to go into all the kindergarten classes and teach a weekly lesson, which I made this name up. It's called Took Her Time. It's just an acronym for treating ourselves and others with kindness and respect. So it's a big umbrella that I try to create lessons for. My hidden agenda through all that is to really get to know all the children and have them get to know me. So in the event that there is some kind of something that occurs in their life or they need some extra support, I'm not a complete stranger that they can talk to outside of class if that need be. The other thing I do is offer small groups for children who might need more support or need a little bit more help with transitions or getting acclimated to school. Sometimes those will occur within the context of the classroom where I pull children out, or sometimes it's at lunch, and we will call those a lunch bunch. And I'll take kids to my office. I have a lot of activities there while we eat. And we just kind of work on problem solving, shoring up those friendship skills. It's not therapy, it's really just skill-based instruction. I'm not sure if there's anything.
Can I add to that, Mrs. Mancini, that kids love Lunch Bunch, and that there's every time you come by, and sometimes I get to join you, which is usually the highlight of my day, but whenever you come by the cafeteria to pick up kids have an opportunity to invite friends, and it is always a hot ticket. And part of that is because Mrs. Mancini's office is so fun and she's got lots of games. And part of it is just because, you know, there's good connections among the kids and with each other and the different staff, so that school is really a place in any of the settings, whether it's in the specials or in lunchtime or recess or in the classroom, that kids feel good about themselves and feel good about their friends. So I just
Thanks, Cheryl.
add that in.
Yeah. And Cheryl and I are out at recess a lot too, observing, making sure that's going smoothly for children.
So along with the social skills, another important part of your child's day will be the school-wide mentoring program. We have classroom buddies where the younger children are paired with a class in an upper grade. And this really fosters positive peer relationships amongst the grade, and they get to look to see what will be coming in the future years. It's a great program. We've had it for many years, and it's really created a very positive classroom, positive school climate. And the children all really look forward to that time that they get to see, whether they're looking for their older buddies or the older children looking for their younger kindergarten buddies.
I just want to add to that. We did have a few Zoom meetings this year towards the end of, more recently, not the beginning of our distance learning, where they did do their buddy Zooms. And it was just really rewarding to see the children light up as they saw their buddy's picture come up on the Brady Bunch screen. So it's the bonds that they create are amazing, and the kids really look forward to it. They see each other in the hallways and they yell, "There's my buddy!" It's really great. So it's a really special thing that Lakes does.
As you can see in that picture, they are wearing Guilford Lakes Spirit t-shirts, and every class has a different color to wear. So we usually send out order forms at the beginning of the year, but we wear those to assemblies and on field trips and special occasions during the school year. So helping hands training is something that happens across the district. In order to volunteer at school or in your child's classroom, you need to be helping hands trained. The trainings take place at various times between August and March. There's usually a schedule posted on the website. And the trainings could be at any of the elementary schools or middle or high school, I believe, too. And once you complete the training, you'll get a badge saying that you are a Helping Hands volunteer, and you will have that badge for your time in the district.
Okay, these are just some examples of ways that parents become involved at school. In kindergarten and the other grade levels, we have reading/writing shares where we invite families to come in, typically the adult in the family, one or two or whoever, to come in so that your child can share their writing work, can read to you. It's a really special time for just them. There's nothing formal about it. It's kind of an open house sort of environment where people can kind of come and go. Typically parents come right at the beginning, they stay for the full half hour, and it's really a special time for kids. Science investigations are an opportunity for parents to be trained in specific lessons geared toward each grade level, and they are a lot of fun, all hands-on. The training is done at school. It's very simple, and you're invited to participate. There'll be more information about that. We also invite parents to come in as mystery readers, and you can schedule that based on your schedule and or the teacher's schedule. I think we all kind of have a time of day that we like to do it, but we're certainly flexible, and it's just an opportunity for you to come in. The kids don't know who you are, and hopefully your own child doesn't know that you're coming in, but they get very excited about it. You give us 3 clues, we read the clues, and they try to guess who it is. And it's just a fun time for you to come in. PTO events, there's several of them. We have an amazing PTO. You'll hear more from the PTO at the conclusion of our presentation here. There's lots of fundraisers and social family events that are really great. Book fair, there's movie night, there's fall festival, there's been dances, and you'll hear more about that at the end here.
So these are just a few suggestions that we think might be helpful in getting your child ready to transition to a kindergarten classroom. It seems silly to say, but establishing a bedtime and a morning routine, silly to say right now, but towards the end of the summer, establishing a good bedtime and a great morning routine helps get them ready for the day. The other thing we can start doing is to give multi-step directions. Start with one direction, move to two-step directions. It really helps to foster a sense of confidence in your child. Along with practicing using the bathroom, hand washing will be very important. If they can use the bathroom on their own, wash their hands, zip up their own pants, things like that, just to give them a great sense of confidence and starting off on a solid foot. Practicing your name, address, and telephone number, tying shoes, zipping coats. This is actually really important. Discussing your child's plans for snack, lunch, and dismissal. It really helps them feel secure if they know what their plans are for lunch. If they come in knowing that they're buying, they come right in the room, they know they're buying, it helps them start their day. And it also helps them to know what you would like them to eat for snack. And as Denise mentioned, dismissal is very important too. They like to know what their plans are, and it helps them feel calm and secure during the day if they know what their dismissal plans are. Practicing writing letters, upper and lowercase, counting objects, and as Cheryl mentioned, reading to your child each day.
Okay, so here are some important dates that I'm going to mention. That I'm going to ask Gail to share some other registration things that are due. But if you haven't gotten your health form into the nurse, please do that as soon as possible. Even if you want to drop that off at the school, you can drop it off. The office, at least the vestibule, is open, and I will be in all week next week, so we'll be there to collect any paperwork that you need next week. We do a bus orientation for our children. You'll get the bus lists and classroom assignments later in August, and then you'll have an opportunity to meet with the bus company in an orientation, and the kids actually ride a bus to see what it's like riding the bus. And I do ride with them. We ask the parents not ride with them. They get used to it. For those kids who are a little nervous, I usually sit with them or near them. We will have an open house drop-in where you and your child can come in before school starts during our professional development days. It's a 1-hour time where you get to go to your classroom and meet your teacher and look at your class and see your classmates. The first day of school this year is September, and we will have a back-to-school night that focuses just on curriculum. It's not an individual teacher conference. It's really about what does the curriculum look like for your children. Gail, do you want to talk about any of the registration stuff that you need in, since we're talking about transportation now?
So I think, I have most of what I need from everybody. And if I don't have it, I think you know that you owe it to me. But for some people, I'm still looking for the transportation form. I don't know if you can see it. It's on the Guilford Public Schools website. I think this mainly applies to our pre-K kids who I didn't have a chance to get this to before we left. So the pre-K kids that are currently at Lakes, I did get some, but not all. So if you can get those to me, that would be great. And if you don't, I'll probably be reaching out to you to ask for it. We ask for the forms even if you don't intend on taking the bus, because they just want to have one on file for every child, just in case. And I'm looking at my list this morning of outstanding things that I need from families. I think it's pretty good. But again, if you have any questions in regards to things that you think you may owe me, you can email me and I'll get right back to you. Okay? Thanks.
So we know we covered a lot today in the PowerPoint, but if there's any questions, we're open to questions now.
So if you have questions, you can either unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can type in the chat section and we can answer those there too.
I have a question about the health forms. I know when I went to the register, I was told, oh, it's too bad you didn't get the health form done, even though he's not 5 yet. He'll be 5 in June. But so I haven't sent it in because he hasn't had his 5-year-old checkup yet. Do you want me to send in what I have and then send in something later once he's had his 5-year-old checkup, or just wait and send the whole thing in at once after it's late June when he'll turn 5 and have his checkup, hopefully?
Okay, that's probably close enough, but it's helpful to have any information because there's a lot of information that we put into our we put input into a program that the nurses use for completing a child's health record that follows them all the way through into high school, and it's helpful to have as much information ahead of time. But if that is convenient for you, if you have it, that would be great. If not, June is around the corner, so that's fine.
So there's a question in chat about, is there listed email addresses for everyone that was listed? I am going to do a follow-up email to everybody, all incoming kindergartners, next week. I'll make sure that the email addresses are in that follow-up. It's going to include this video of this Zoom. It's going to include a frequently asked questions document for kindergartners. It's also going to include the video that I promised you for your children with the tour of the school. So all of that will come next week, and I will make sure that I include the emails of everybody that was participating from the school here. So the next question is, what time do kids need to be at school and where do they go when they get there? The school day begins technically at 9:05, so they should be in their classrooms ready to learn at 9:05. Anybody can correct me if I'm wrong because we did that shift in time. The doors to the school do not open until 10 of 9. So if you're dropping off your children, you can't leave them in the vestibule or you can't leave them in school because we won't have supervision for them. So drop off starts at 10 of 9 and the class starts really when the kids get into the classroom, but officially at 9:05. If you're dropping your student off, you'll drop them in the front of the building. If they take the bus, they get dropped off in the back of the building, and there's staff there that will be supervising when they get dropped off. And I do have that. I have where they go in the video that will come next week too. The next question is, how does the morning and after school care program work in conjunction with the arrival and dismissal procedures? So you'll receive some information on who to contact for before and after care, but at 10 of 9, students are dismissed from before care and they get sent directly to their classrooms, and they're able to navigate on their own. Even our kindergarten students, after the first couple days of school, in the beginning, the first few days, their teachers will meet them in the gym and bring them to class, but on a regular day, the children just walk to their classes on their own, and there's adults in the hallways that can help them all the time. Same with dismissal. If they're going to aftercare after school, the teachers make sure that that's where they're going, and as they walk the children to the bus line, they make sure that the children going to aftercare make it to the aftercare area. Teachers, did I miss anything? No? Okay. Is there a plan in place for distance learning if COVID-19 escalates? So that is all up in the air right now. There's certainly planning that is happening. The governor and the commissioner have been meeting with the Connecticut Association of Public School Superintendents, and they are kind of vetting a lot of different scenarios that we'll keep you updated on as we get updated. It's kind of a moving target right now, so there's not definite information, but I can assure you there is a lot of planning going on right now for many different scenarios. And I think we'll definitely be ready for it. But there's not a lot of information we can share right now. What time does school end? School ends at 3:30, and students leave the kindergarten classroom. What time do they leave, teachers? What time do you bring them to the dismissal?
From 3:25, we start wrapping
3:25,
up.
sorry, okay. So you'll be able to take them, if you're picking up at 3:30, you'll be able to dismiss or get your child then, but I do have to warn you, if you haven't picked up at Guilford Lake, the pickup line is quite long. So, and again, for pickup, you do stand outside, even in the rain and even in the cold. So the line does get long. So there is a question about allergies and restrictions for snack and lunch. So Maggie, I don't know if you or Taylor, you can expand on this for me, but what we provide from the cafeteria is a nut-free options in terms of what the school lunch is. Students can bring products with nuts in them from home. If there's allergies though, depending on the allergy, we have asked for nut-free classrooms if it's a severe allergy. And we've worked out tables that we can make sure that the child isn't exposed to allergies or to nuts in the cafeteria. But we don't restrict what the child brings in unless there really is a severe allergy, and we have to, and usually if it's more to the touch versus ingestion. Maggie, is there anything that I missed, or teachers?
No, the teachers are informed early on before the children come in of allergies that are in their classrooms. And it's our understanding of recent times, the food that is served in the cafeteria may have been prepared in an area where nuts were processed. So it's, and you'll get a notice if there's a child with a severe allergy to please try to avoid sending in snacks that contain nuts in the classroom. And the teacher will be, the care plan for that child will be reviewed with the teacher, so they'll be aware of how they need to, carry it out in the classroom.
There's another question about what is recommended for picky eaters. I don't know if teachers, you want to jump in on that because you get exposed to it most.
We like to encourage healthy snacks that come into school for our snack time in the morning, like fruit or vegetables and cheese. We try to stay away from anything sugary, like, fruit snacks and that sort of thing. And for the most part, we encourage kids to bring in a container or bottle of water, all of them. We try to stay away from juices and milks and that sort of thing in the classroom because we have carpets. But anything else, ladies, jump in.
Having your child help pick their snacks is also helpful, because then they're in control and you're in control with them. So working together, that often seems to be a way to find the middle ground.
Yeah.
And I know that some children don't like to have sandwiches per se as their lunch, and they bring in a variety of little snacks. Healthy. So I don't know if that helps with having a picky eater.
Are there any other questions for the teachers? Because we do have the PTO. We have Krista Elam that's going to speak, and I think Claire is going to speak. And certainly after they're done, we can answer more questions if something comes up. Any other questions from parents for right now before the PTO speaks? Okay, so Krista, I'm going to introduce Krista Elam, who is the current president of the PTO. Krista, are you there?
I am here.
Okay.
Hi all. Hi all. I am Krista Elam. I have a first, almost second grader, and I have a fifth grader that already went through Lakes. I am the present PTO.
I think we lost her. Claire, do you want to jump in?
I'm here too. I'm
Oh,
here.
and Amy's there too. Okay, either one of you.
Claire, you want me to start or you want to start?
You can introduce yourself.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Amy Kripe and I will be the new PTO president for next school year. And I currently have a kindergartner. Oh, Krista, you back?
Sorry. I'm back, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead, continue.
I was just gonna say I'm the present PTO president, but Amy will be taking over next year and Claire will be the treasurer, so they're gonna speak shortly. I've been PTO now for 5 years, and we do a lot of great fundraisers and things like that, but I'll let the new ladies discuss it with you.
Great. So I have a current kindergartner right now in Mrs. Gravina's class, and she absolutely loves kindergarten, everything. So your kids are going to have so much fun. The board and I met once already, and we were working on events for next year and fundraisers to help raise money for PTO activities, and also the building of the new playground, which Claire could also talk more about. And with the new COVID restrictions, we're going to be meeting again throughout the summer just to kind of see what we can do, if anything, as the restrictions change. But for now, please sign up to receive our emails and our Monday messages so that you're not missing any type of correspondence. And please get involved. Please come to our monthly, we're going to do monthly meetings at 7 o'clock on Thursdays, I think is the day of the first Thursday of the month. But please just get involved and please write us and come to board meetings, and we're just planning and getting ready for the new school year. Claire?
Hi, I'm Claire. I'm the current treasurer and will be the treasurer again. Welcome. I have a current third grader, a current first grader, and a current pre-K-er at Guilford Lakes, and I also went to Guilford Lakes. So I'm all about Guilford Lakes. For you guys, I will say one thing that was extremely helpful for me with the PTO was our little lines pads. This really helps you, your child, and your teachers in the office know what your child's plan is for the dismissal. So I'm doing shameless plugs. Visit our website, guilfordlakespto.com. You can get your kid all excited about being Guilford Lakes and get them t-shirts. The line pads are on there, sweatshirts, and handy dandy shopping bags. All the money for these items go back to the school, whether it be activities that we do. The bags, 100% of the purchase of the bag goes to building our playground. Amy mentioned Guilford Lakes currently has 2 large playgrounds. They need to be redone. So we are in the midst of fundraising for that. There's more information on our website. Just get involved any way you can. It's the best. These years go so fast. As I have a child going to 4th grade, it went like that. So get involved wherever you can. There's so much to do behind the scenes, in the forefront. Everything, big, small, whatever you can do is great. Don't hesitate to email any of the current board members or the new board members if you have questions, even after this chat. If you guys are curious about things or didn't want to ask in front of everybody a question, we're happy to answer them or find answers for you. So don't hesitate to reach out. And welcome. That's it.
So does anybody have any more questions for either the PTO or the teachers? Okay, so I'm just going to end by saying thank you to all of you for being here, and to Claire's point, welcome. We are so happy to have all 41 students that are currently registered, and we look forward to next year. And if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out, or even if you just want to reach out and say hi, feel free to do that. And again, look for an email next week that's going to include this Zoom meeting, I will include a link to the PTO website. It'll include the emails. It'll include a video tour and a frequently asked questions document. So
Thank you all for your time.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's say hi to Amy.
Say hi.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Ellery.
Cute. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. We'll see
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.